What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Megan, founder and CEO of Atlanta Pit Bull Training and Dog Behavior Consultant. Today's topic is one that is extremely controversial and very close to my heart. The topic is pit bull bans, breed-specific legislation, and the connection to racism in America. When it comes to certain dog breeds, like pit bulls, there's a lot of controversy and debate about their temperament, behavior, and the laws that target them. The truth is, these dogs, like any other dog breed, are complete individuals, and their behavior is not dictated by their breed alone. So let's start out by dispelling some myths. There's a lot of discourse that suggests that pit bulls are inherently dangerous. As in all dog breeds, dog behavior is governed by genetics, training, and socialization. And yet, pit bulls still find themselves at the crux of discrimination through what we call breed-specific legislation. For more information about myths that must be dispelled about pit bulls, please check out my most recent video. What's even more alarming is the racial bias that underpins the laws that govern pit bulls and bully breeds and other breed-specific bans. We have to acknowledge the amount of implicit bias and systemic racism that is embedded within these laws, which leads to unwarranted discrimination towards communities of color. So it's very vital to understand that breed-specific legislation is not only misguided, but it's ineffective. These laws actually don't address the root cause of dog aggression, which is lack of training, lack of education and knowledge, and improper ownership. Instead, they promote prejudice, bias, and put responsible pit bull owners into uncomfortable situations unnecessarily. Literally, these laws restrict people from being able to live happy lives. Beyond that, they also restrict people who use these breeds in service to them as emotional support animals or service animals or just well-behaved companion dogs from being able to have all of the accommodations that they need and having to fight for their rights to exist, which is not right. So what can we do to address issues of racism embedded within breed-specific legislation, also known as breed discrimination? The number one thing we can do is spread awareness. We can educate others, we can incite critical dialogue about the realities and the truths about pit bulls. And if you are a person who does function out of implicit biases or who's afraid of dogs or who has a negative history with these dogs, you can also work on educating yourself and working to address those inaccurate narratives that you're holding onto about these dogs. It's not saying that there are not aggressive pit bulls or dogs that are problematic, but those dogs are individual cases. It's not the entire breed. And that's where we get into really this ineffectiveness and this new form of discrimination against people, namely people, communities of color, or people from marginalized populations through breed-specific legislation, which is another form of breed discrimination, but that breed discrimination also impacts people. If you're as passionate about addressing systemic racism in the pet world, specifically labeled as breed-specific legislation or breed discrimination, don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And you can contact me at atlpitbulltraining.com or ATL Pitbull Training on all platforms. Would love to connect with other breed-specific legislation advocates, bully breed advocates. Thank you for listening.